Hi, welcome. Welcome to HACIA's May monthly membership meeting. We're excited for today. So my name is Jackie Gomez. I'm the Executive Director for HACIA, and I welcome you all for today's event. We have 4 speakers today, so we're excited to hear all about the opportunities that are coming up and some informational, I think, pieces that will be beneficial for our businesses as well. So let's get started. So before starting, always we'd like to thank our sponsors for being great partners in our mission, and we'd like to give it a shout out to our gold sponsor this month, Advanced Contractor Solutions, Inc. Thank you for your sponsorship and support. We also have membership meeting sponsors for the whole year, and so we're grateful for them as well for making these meetings possible. And we have Wintrust Bank, we have People's Gas, Bear Paints, ComEd, and Hilco Global. Thank you all again. We also have member anniversaries, which are exciting because we have some shout outs for this month for 5 years. Darton Construction, People's Gas, and Sebastian Painting. Congratulations on your anniversary. Look forward to continuing the relationship. Next up, we have new members, which is always part of my favorite piece of this because it's great to continue the networking and to welcome new firms to the family, to the HACIA family. And so I'll read them off here, and then I will call, we have some folks on the line that will go on live to do a quick introduction. So first I'll call out all of our new members, and then you'll hear intros from them. So we have Apache Service and Supply Company, Francis Construction Group, the Exchange 55, Hilco Exchange, Rocket Crane Services, William A. Randolph, Inc., and Zan. So I'm going to start out with Louis from William A. Randolph. Louis, please unmute yourself and give a brief intro, please.
Thank you. Again, my name is Louis Jones. I'm with William A. Randolph. We're a 63-year-old firm with our main headquarters in Chicago market, with regional offices in New York and Atlanta. We work in over 30 states. We work in all market sectors, but are the most proficient in hospitality, multifamily, retail offices, and industrial work. We specialize in modular construction and panelized construction as well. So that's part of William A. Randolph, and glad to be a member and look forward to networking and mentoring opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Louis. Appreciate you. Next from Rocket Crane, we have Hector. Please unmute yourself.
There we go. Good morning. First of all, I'm proud to be part of HACIA. We're Rocket Cranes is a brand new company. We started last year in August, and one of the reasons why I own another company, and and one of the reasons we pivoted a little bit was because there was a little slowdown on the production. I own a video production company. My son-in-law is one of the best crane operators in the city, and I just thought it would be a great opportunity to venture into construction, since I always tell everyone my favorite toy growing up was Legos, So we went ahead and took the venture. We're union shop, and we're looking forward. We're the only service disabled crane company, and hopefully soon we'll have some of our other certifications. We're looking for partnership opportunities, especially with some of the members.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Hector. Next up, we have Suzanne from Zan or Zane. I hope I'm saying that right. Suzanne, let me know.
Yes, it's Zan. Thank you so much, Jackie. I am so honored to be a member of HACIA now. Have worked with HACIA for probably over 20 years during my time living in Chicago, and currently now. I'm a business diversity, equity, and inclusion consultant. So what does that mean? I develop small business DBE programs and workforce programs on mega construction projects. And I'm currently working with Mr. Juan Pablo Prieto on the RPM project, the Walsh Floor with Walsh Floor. So I'm very excited to be a member and hope to continue working with those of you and connecting you with opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. So again, welcome to our new members. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to helping your business grow. I look forward to also the networking opportunities that I know are very important to all of our businesses. So next we have some exciting HACIA news, which I'm happy to announce. We're calling it listos. For those of you that may not know what that translates to in English, it means ready. It's time, let's reconnect. So we are having our very first in-person networking event. It's also a membership appreciation event really at the East Bank Club. It'll be in the terrace, so we will be outdoors. And we're hearing you, we're hearing our members. Networking, there's nothing like it, and it's best done in person. So we're gonna do it June 17th at the East Bank Club, 5:30. If you are a member, you get one free entry, but there's also sponsorship opportunities. And so you can see all of our sponsors here, and we're grateful to them for making these opportunities possible. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Please sign up. It's exciting to finally be able to meet in person. The next event that we have is always a sold out event, and trust me, we are getting there very soon. Is our 34th annual golf outing. And that is happening on June 30th, Silver Lakes Country Club. If you haven't already signed up, please do so. Like I said, already getting sold out really fast. So grateful to NAVA and the committee for their hard work on that. So now I will move it over to our membership presenters. We have first up the Gordian Group. So I'll kick it over to Dwayne. Will I kick it off to you, or will someone else start? Okay.
No,
and
that's
if you
me.
want to introduce your team and then start your presentation.
Absolutely. And Jackie, thank you to you and HACIA for allowing the Gordian Group to present to you today. My name is Dwayne Pierre Antoine. I am Vice President of Operations for the Central Sector at the Gordian Group. Along with me on this presentation is Kelly Erickson. She's one of our sales cooperative development managers, and she's here in support of this presentation. In addition to a partnership that we have fostered with C&D Bonding, they will be taking over the second part of our presentation to talk a little bit about bonding. So again, I thank you all for allowing us to present, and we look forward to an opportunity to follow up this presentation with a longer presentation, more in-depth and detail in reference to JOC, which is Job Order Contracting, and also about the partnership with C&D Bonding. And welcome to the other panelists. Good to see a lot of you again, Juan Pablo, and several others. So let me just go ahead and start to proceed with the presentation. I can advance the screen.
And Dwayne, I'm sorry, I should have made notes that we are also taking questions. So folks, if you have questions during the presentation, you can go ahead and type them out in the chat in the Q&A section, or if you want to ask your question live, just hit that little raise your hand button, and we'll let your question go live. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Dwayne. Okay. So who we are Gordian Group, the Gordian Group. We deliver solutions that bring a speed, precision, efficiency to every phase of the building life cycle. Some of our significant contributions to the industry is, Sightlines is a facility intelligence solutions part of our company. RS means data. Several of you, I'm sure, have heard of RS means before and have utilized the RS means data. And we are the inventor, creator of job order contracting process and data. So Gordian's data and software and expertise. Our data is our lifeblood, which is the construction task catalog. And it's owner specific. It's customized for the different owners. It is the scope of work that the agencies utilize to put out their job contracts. It has over 275,000 construction tasks with preset prices and a coordinated technical specification book also that goes along with each and every one of those 275,000 tasks. So it's a lot. It can be intimidating, but we are here at Gordian to help those that are awarded those contracts and the agencies that have the programs with that data. Our software, which is utilized to help facilitate that data, it's built from a decade of industry experience. It's transparent. It's auditable, which is very important to a lot of the public agencies that utilize this process. It's managed easily, and it collaborates between the owner and the contractor. And as I said before, Gordian, we are the experts. We've been doing this since 1981. We developed and implemented this program at hundreds of programs nationwide, and we're dedicated to the program, and we're on site there, full-time personnel, day and night, as far as support is concerned. We've got more than 2.4 billion in construction value that has been completing through the Gordian JOC programs yearly. Construction delivery methods. So agencies have several different methods of doing construction. As you can see here on the slide, they have in-house staff, unit price contract, CM at risk, design build, time and material, and job order contracting. JOC's not meant to take away from what agencies currently do, but it's just another procurement process to help them procure their construction. Again, JOC is construction related. Job order contracting definition. Here's the full-blown definition that you have on your slide. It's an indefinite delivery, definite quantity process, enables the facility owners to complete a substantial number of individual projects with a single competitively awarded bid. And it's construction task-based, also with preset costs. And the value that comes with it, it's fundamentally different than a lot of the other construction practices. It develops a relationship between the owner, the contractor, and Gordian. The contractors are subject to different motivators and behaviors, and there is a element of a non-adversarial relationship between the owner and the contractor. So real quick, JOC in a nutshell. Part one, the owner will advertise a job order contract. Contractor submits a bid. The owner is awarded that umbrella contract. That contractor is awarded that umbrella contract. Once that umbrella contract is awarded, you're done with part one. You don't have to go back to doing that, such as you do with a traditional bid contract. It's put out every time over and over again with traditional bid with part one. Once part one is done, work is awarded off of single individual projects over and over again. You don't have to go back to part one. So you're done with job one. If you're awarded a contract, you're called for job two, you're called for job three. And then therein lies opening up opportunities for subcontractors to help meet goals, which are definitely included in contracts, to meet those diversity goals that are associated with different programs. Types of projects that are done through JOC: new construction, repairs, renovations, everything you can think of is done through JOC. Okay. JOC benefits for the prime contractor: it's bid one time. Work is based off of performance. It helps you develop sub and supplier relationships. It's transparent. It helps you build bonding capacity. And you'll hear a little bit about that here later on in this presentation. And it's a reduced risk because the work is there and you're not having to go out and search for it. Benefits of the sub. Local contractors are allowed to get opportunities to work with these prime contractors because there are local requirements inside of these contracts. The subs don't have any bonding requirements. There's a wide array of projects that can be done through job order contracting, and it's a simplified procurement process. There's a pipeline of work there. Once that owner, that agency puts out that contract, they have a need for for the work to be done. So that pipeline is there and waiting for the prime contractor to call the sub to get these projects procured. Benefits to the owners. One important thing, and it's one of the biggest things for me, it's an increased MWBE participation. It allows that to be a focus in these contracts to help increase M&W participation throughout these contracts. It's lump sum, it's fixed price, scheduling flexibility, it's transparent. I can't say that more enough. There's a volume of work that comes through, and it's a one-time bid to get multiple jobs through one single solicitation. Brief slide on successful inclusion examples. Housing Authority of Baltimore. More than $286 million in construction has been completed. More than 49% DBE participation since 2000, which has exceeded their goal of 26%. And right here in the city of Chicago, nearly $600 million in construction over a 15-year period. That's a lot of construction work. And there's more than 46% MWBE, SBE, and DBE participation, which has exceeded their goal of 36% over that time. Los Angeles Unified School District is another one, and the Miami-Dade Public Schools, just to name a few more that have exceeded their procurement goals for local and disadvantaged and emerging businesses. A couple quotes that you'll hear on the video that I'm going to show here. I just wanted to put these up, just telling about the opportunities for some of these small businesses to grow through job order contracting. And these are small minority businesses. We are heavily focused on trying to grow the minority participation within the job order contracting procurement solutions throughout the United States. So that's why we're here to give you a brief synopsis of what we do. We're going to follow this up with a later presentation, and look forward to talking with several of you about these opportunities. One in particular that we have coming up is this Chicago Department of Transportation is soon to be putting out SBE, Small Business JOC contract, and we'll have more details on that when you're following up on the additional presentation. So let me go ahead and start my video real briefly and then turn it over to C&D Bonding. Can this video be heard? Can you guys hear this video?
Think I'm not hearing it, Dwayne. It may not be heard.
Yeah,
right
I think
now,
there's an audio issue, so I'll pause it and
but
we'll.
we can share it. We can definitely share it.
Okay.
If you want to send that to us directly.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that. So at this point in time, I'd like to turn over the presentation to my partners in the bonding arena, Kevin and Phil from C&D Bonding. I'll stop sharing here and let them start their slides.
Are we unmuted?
Yeah, we're good.
You're in. I hear you.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm Phil Vega, and sitting next to me here is Kevin, my son, co-owner of the company, C&D Bonding, Contractors and Developers Bonding. We dedicate ourselves to construction contract bonding, and we have a tremendous amount of expertise in the JOC contract award, IDIQ type of award process. So we're really excited about being asked to participate in this program and the opportunity to discuss our favorite topic, and that's surety bonding. So I think one of the things that we've talked about in the past is what kind of contractor are we looking for? And the answer to that is anybody who needs bonds. So that's kind of our approach to business. And I don't know if Dwayne, you're going to be going, or we're going to be doing the slides here, or you're going to be clicking them next.
I can do it next. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the process of bonding is unlike insurance. It's a three-party contract, principal, obligee, surety. You can see that on the screen there, and to make a distinction, and if I'm being redundant here and people know this, I apologize, but insurance is a two-party contract and it's an indemnity contract. So for example, if you've got auto insurance and you go and you get in an accident, you get it repaired and the insurance company pays for it. Surety bonding is a credit-based facility where you have three people involved or three entities involved. The principal, which that would be the contractor, the obligee, that would be the owner, and the surety, of course, that's who we would bring in to issue the bonds, the respective JOC contracts or the bonds. I'm going to go to the next slide.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that.
Securing any type of bonding is unique, and I'll bring it down, kind of distill it down to the JOC type of contract. And this is where we really like the process of IDIQ, indefinite quantity type of awards, or JOC contracts, where, and I'll just use what we've seen in the past, and that is an owner, an obligee will put out a job and will award a contract. And let's say they can award a contract for $2 million. But when it comes to the bonding part of that, the individual bonds really is going to be the important part of how I think we approach this particular program, and trying not to have a contractor be required to issue a bond at the contract award level, but maybe on the individual task order basis or incrementally as we go up. So securing JOC bonds, we can go credit based, and if the particular principal or the contractor has got decent credit, that would be in FICO scores, and that would be the high sixes, maybe low sevens. It's real simple for us to go to our markets, where we have a handful of markets that really understand the JOC delivery method and are very, very open to allowing a lot of surety credit based upon the history or the background of the contractor. And so contracts of 500,000 or as you can see on the screen and lower, based upon credit, it's a couple page application. It's a real simple process. Over 500,000 and to whatever, we can go as big as we want. And that would become a little bit more, I don't want to say sophisticated, but a little more in depth. Yeah, good word. Approach to underwriting, and that would be providing some level of financial reporting in-house. Doesn't need to be CPA. So in-house reporting, verification of cash, and things of that nature. And so it really depends upon, I think, where we settle upon, not necessarily the actual contract award, but the actual bond issuance, the bond awards. And from a cash flow standpoint, we think it's really important to look at smaller task order bonding, because that's going to allow the contractor the ability to keep money in their pocket, for lack of a better term, as opposed to putting money in the surety's pocket when they're paying bond premium that they don't need to be paying. You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think we're good. Let's get to this, kind of stick to the slides here.
Okay.
So we do have 10 minutes time.
Maximizing bonding is really developing a relationship with a surety company and a broker. This is where we bring our expertise into it, being surety bond only. And we have a significant number of contractors that we participate with and sureties we participate with in the JOC program. And so it's really important to develop the relationship, and we can guide the way to maximizing surety bond credit. But that doesn't mean you can't get a bond right out of the gate, because you can. And if you've got a surety relationship, or a contractor's got a surety relationship, our goal is not to step in front of that. I mean, we can allow some guidance with that, but we're looking to participate with contractors who are first-time bond users and those that want to increase their surety bonding credit availability. And that's where we could bring the surety companies in, and we've got a couple of markets that can use the SBA as a tool to assist in their underwriting, which makes bonding very, very simple with laying off risk to the SBA. And so it really just depends upon what the appetite is of the contractor, again, the principle of what their bonding needs, what they want, and we can set milestones.
The backlog part, that's what it sounds.
Go ahead. Kevin, we can jump in real quick on the backlog part. So I'll let Kevin talk.
Go back real fast about the backlog. Press for time. So the JOC bonds and your backlog, the best way to maximize your success, as Phil said, is getting with the right surety. But the way they do that is to understand the way that JOC bonds affect your backlog as opposed to hard dollar bids. We understand that if you get a $5 million JOC contract that doesn't necessarily put $5 million worth of work on your backlog and stress out the contractor's abilities to get other work. And to secure other work obviously is most important to keep cash flow going and to operate your business. So as Phil was saying, is we pair our contractors with the right surety companies that understand that and the effects of your backlog that allow you guys to secure more work and continue to pick up more jock bonds that allow you to continue to flow throughout the years. Okay, then you can switch.
Let me add one more thing to that, and I think Kevin hit on it, and that is when you're looking at your backlog of work, and say for example, Kevin said $5 million contract, but you get a task order for 100,000, and so the bond company would look at your backlog, not a 5 million. Your backlog or cost to complete on that specific contract is 100,000. That's the flexibility that we have with the surety companies that allows a lot more capability of seeking other work. So go ahead, Kevin.
The types of bonds, we got bid bonds. I think Dwayne touched on it with his slide earlier. Owner puts out a bid for a jock. You guys, contractors will submit the bid. If low, we provide a performance bond. The performance bond is based off of the premium rate. I believe it's on the next slide, but and then a payment bond. So from here we go to the 3 C's of underwriting, and this is what the sureties and us as brokers look at. First being capital, the ability to fund the job if you have the capital to fund your business and fund the work that you pick up. The capacity is the ability or the manpower and the equipment to handle that backlog and that work. And character, being the most difficult to find out or see. Obviously with capital and capacity, you take a look at their assets and then that's how you make that determination. Character is will you follow through with what you say you're going to do.
Hey guys, I'm just doing a quick time check. We are at the 15-minute mark.
Okay.
So if you can wrap
I
it
do
up in the next
apologize.
minute.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'll go quick with this as you can. Bid bond, no charge. We don't charge for bid bonds. Performance bond is based off of what we are able to get with your surety company. It's usually based off of credit and financial strength, 1 to 3%, and payment bonds are included in that. Unless it's just a payment bond only, then it's actually a little bit lesser. First step, select knowledgeable surety bond producers. That's us.
Great, thank you so much.
That's really hard to talk about bonding in that short period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
no,
little
like,
long-winded.
I think that's why we talked about, we're happy to set up a separate workshop specifically on that. If that's something that would be of interest, that we would have people that want to just specifically learn more about the bonding piece. So we can
Absolutely. And if
And
we
then
get to the, I'm sorry, if we get
we
to,
do have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask.
okay.
So I think this one may be more for Dwayne or others maybe. Are there other agency jock bid opportunities coming up soon? And how do we know which agency has jock contracts?
So that's a very good question. There are. I mentioned briefly that Chicago Department of Transportation has an SDE jock contract coming out shortly. We're still in the development stage of that, which is going to focus on the small business. You can reach out to me. Our information is at the end of the slide about other opportunities nationwide, not just in Chicago, nationwide. But we do have access to all of the upcoming contracts for the different agencies, and we can share that information with you guys. So our email is contractordiversity@gordian.com. I believe that was on the presentation. I probably stopped sharing it.
You can drop it in the chat as well, Dwayne, so that folks can see it.
I'll do that. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say, and there it is. And I will say, I think jock is a bit underutilized and perhaps could use a refresh, right? Or more, or just, I think, I remember when my days at Cook County, we had the jock program with the Gordian Group, and it was a lot of information. So I think to your point, Dwayne, it would be helpful to have, for folks specifically interested in learning how to navigate that process, we could do a separate workshop for that.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Let's do that. And for members or folks in attendance, if interested, please reach out to us. Let us know your interest, and we will set that up. So thank you all. Thank you to the Gordian Group. Our next speaker is Juan Pablo Prieto from CTA. Juan Pablo, please unmute yourself and you're on.
Great. Thank you.
And good to see you.
You too. All right. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yes.
Great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Juan Pablo Prieto, and I serve as the Director of Diversity Programs and the CTA's DBE Liaison Officer, or DBLO. To start, I would like to thank Jackie and the HACIA team for having us here today. It's great to always be back at HACIA. So today I'll be walking through the CTA's methodology for our proposed DBE goal for our projected federal spend in federal fiscal years 2022 through 2024. As part of our DBE program with the U.S. Department of Transportation, we are required to submit a DBE goal every 3 years. The proposed goal that we are presenting today will cover the time period of October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2024. As required by the DBE regulations, CTA followed a two-step process to calculate the goal. The first step is to calculate the base figure by gathering all the projected contracting opportunities that we anticipate using federal funds on. So diversity works with each department within CTA to gather all those contracting opportunities and then break them down by work category or NAICS code. From there, we assign a projected dollar amount to each NAICS code and analyze the number of firms and the number of DBE certified firms for each NAICS code. In the following slide, you'll see the breakdown, which calculated a base figure of 23%. Step 2 is to analyze whether the base figure needs to be adjusted, and one of the methods to analyze that is to use the DBE attainment for the last 3 years. In the following slide, we will review CTA's previous attainment and why we decided to adjust the base figure. Finally, we decided to host a public review and comment period for 30 days from May 3rd to June 2nd, 2021. Based on any comments received, we will again analyze whether an adjustment to the goal is necessary before submitting it to FTA for approval. On this slide, you can see the estimated contracting dollars we anticipate awarding during federal fiscal years 2022 through 2024 that we project using federal funds for. Although we know that the entire dollar value will not be federally funded, best practice is to include the entire dollar amount, since we don't know the exact amount of federal funding we will use. We anticipate the majority, or 68.2% of the federal funds, will be used on construction contracts, 27% on professional services contracts, and 4.8% on supply contracts. Some of the projects included in the estimate are the All Stations Accessibility Program, or ASAP, construction management services, general engineering services, our mid-level construction program, or MidCon, and various contracts for the Red Line extension. I would like to point out that these estimates are based on current projected federal spending. You'll notice that we have several contracts that we are planning for the Red Line extension, but not the full construction of the extension. CTA is currently pursuing funding for the project, and if and when we receive those funds, we will evaluate our goal to assess if it needs to be adjusted. Likewise, there's discussion in Washington regarding a federal infrastructure bill. If and when that is passed, we will assess the projected federal funds coming to CTA and determine if we need to submit an adjustment to this goal to the FTA. On this slide, you can see the breakdown of those dollars by NAICS code. Again, the percentages in column C come from the amount of DBE firms that are registered with the CTA against the total number of firms registered with the CTA in that particular NAICS code or work category. We strongly encourage any firm that is interested in doing business with CTA to register as a vendor, and any firm that feels that they qualify for DBE certification, apply with one of the 5 agencies that certify DBEs in Illinois. Additionally, we strongly encourage any DBE certified firm to review their NAICS codes and apply to expand their codes with their host agency if they've expanded into new areas of work. Just want to remind everyone that the more DBE firms there are in a particular work category, the higher that we can set the floor for DBE participation. Please note that we use a similar process when assessing DBE goals on individual contracts and task orders. On this slide, you can see the DBE participation CTA attained using federal funds in the each of the last 3 federal fiscal years. Because our attainment was higher than 26% for the last 3 fiscal years, we decided that an adjustment to the base figure was necessary to adjust for market conditions. The DBE regulations indicate that agencies use the median or middle number when adjusting a base figure using historical attainment. The CTA's median attainment was 29.42%. We then averaged the base figure of 23 with the median attainment of 29.42 to calculate our proposed goal of 26%. We are also required to split our goal into a race neutral portion, meaning contracts with DBE participation that do not have a DBE goal or where a DBE is a prime, and also race conscious measures, meaning contracts that have a DBE goal. The regulations require us to maximize the race neutral participation. So CTA proposes to attain our 26% goal with 7.25% race neutral measures and 18.75% through race conscious measures. As a reminder, CTA diversity programs is your #1 advocate within CTA. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us with questions or concerns. Remember that early communication is key and we are here to help. With that, I will take any questions on the proposed goal or methodology.
If anyone has any questions, please feel free. Don't be shy. I know you guys are not shy. Feel free to press the button to raise your hand if you want to ask your question live, or drop in the question in the chat box. And currently, Juan Pablo, I don't see any current questions in the chat box.
I have a question.
Great.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this whole race neutral and race conscious approach that the CTA is doing. Is this because the work is being federally funded? Is that why it speaks to that kind of language?
Yes, that's language directly out of the the federal DBE regulations.
Great.
Great. So since I don't see any questions, thank you again for allowing us to present. I welcome you to visit our webpage, transitchicago.com/DBE, to view the full goal methodology. And if you have any comments, you can submit them via email to diversity@transitchicago.com, and I'll drop both of those into the chat box.
Great. Thank you, Juan Pablo. I appreciate you coming out to speak.
Of course, thank you.
So next up, I have my friends over from the Obama Foundation. And I think we're starting out with Denisha O'Rourke. So I'll let you two decide who wants to take it on first. And if you're presenting something, go ahead and share, and we'll get you started. Oh, do we have a question? I just saw Juan Pablo, I might have a question for you before you.
Sure, I'm still here.
Before we completely transition over before we get into it. I'm sorry, OPC, what is I'm not sure I can read that. I'm sorry.
I can read it.
Can you read it?
Yeah.
I can't read it as far.
The
Can
question
you read the
says,
question out loud?
yeah, has the CTA heard if local preferences will be readopted by the feds? Gustavo, I'm not sure if you're talking about workforce or contractor. And as far as I've heard, for contractors, there is no local preference allowed when using federal funds. On the workforce side, I do know that is being discussed to allow for local hiring goals.
Thank you.
Workforce.
Thank you for
Yes.
that question. All right, Denisha O'Rourke.
Yeah, hi, I'm Denisha Broda. I'm at the foundation. I'm the strategy analyst on our Obama Presidential Center Operations and Implementation team. I'll be joined by Wark Frankel, who is the Director of Planning and Delivery. And we just want to give a quick overview of the project and let you guys know where we are, and also share some information about our workforce program, and then I'll turn it over to Pam Brown from the Lakeside Alliance to give you guys some more details on how to work with them. So starting off, just a quick overview of our mission and visitor experience. The mission of the Obama Foundation is to inspire, empower, and connect people to change their world. And we're hoping that the Obama Presidential Center will be the physical manifestation of that mission. So we plan to inspire the local community and visitors from around the world with the stories and values of the President and Mrs. Obama, and then also empower those visitors with information and resources that enable them to change the world around them. And finally, connecting the visitors to one another, both to one another and to the ongoing work that the foundation does. The foundation, well, the center will be the place where you get to see our theory of change in action. We plan to develop emerging leaders and go deep in Chicago, since this is the home of President Obama and Mrs. Obama. And then our primary goal is to move people from hope to action. Right, so I'll turn it over to Rourke, who'll give a quick overview of the project.
Thanks, Denisha. Good morning. As Denisha said, my name is Rourke Frankel. I work at the Obama Foundation, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here this morning and to speak with HACIA and its members again. And on behalf of the whole foundation, I just want to thank you really for having us and for all the work that HACIA and all of your members do every day. The last time I was lucky enough to talk to this group, the Cubs were in the playoffs, so that might give you a little sense of how long we've been plugging away at all this. But the good news is we're with you today to announce we really have confidence that we are able to start construction of the project at the end of this summer. Again, Pam and the Lakeside Alliance will talk to you all in a few moments about contracting opportunities and more specifically about that. But I thought because so much time has passed, we wanted to just give a quick overview again about what the project physically really is. What is the physical plan for the Obama Presidential Center? Here on the screen, you see a little bit about the teaming that we have. Our architects at the top there are out of New York, as are our landscape architect at the bottom. But the real core of it is our owner's representation or project management team in the center here, made up of 3 firms. McKissick, not necessarily a Chicago firm, but with deep ties here, but both Ardmore Roderick and Answer Advisory being located here. And of course, our partners, our incredible partners at the Lakeside Alliance, where our construction managers, Pam will talk a little bit more about that, but we're just thrilled to be working with all of them. It's a consortium of 5 local contractors with incredible experience and who share the values of the foundation as we go forward on this project. And on the far left, those initials RAA, that is our exhibition design team. A big core piece of the Obama Presidential Center is the museum. And we have a lot of exciting plans for the city and the country at large about what we want to try to accomplish in the museum. So just to locate everyone, the center will be in Jackson Park on the south side of Chicago, sort of in the northwest corner of the park, just a few moments walk from the Museum of Science and Industry, which sort of anchors the north end of Jackson Park. The idea behind the Obama Presidential Center was to create a campus for connection and learning and leadership. And so how that has played out is there's really 4 buildings planned for the center, 3 of which we are hoping to start construction on together this fall or at the end of the summer. And they are clustered at the north end of our campus. And you can see them there. And Denisha, you can maybe use your cursor to point to certain things as I talk about them. But we've got 3 buildings sort of clustered around or circling a big, large public plaza that we envision as being a real gathering place or a place for celebration. I'll go from sort of south to north here, Denisha. We've got a building at the south end, which we're really excited about. We've got a partnership with the Chicago Public Library. We are planning on opening a branch of the CPL on campus, and that will be the main sort of tenant, if you will, or the main purpose of that southernmost building. In the center, we have something we call the Forum. The Forum is really the building where a lot of the work will get done. That is where our classrooms are, our auditorium is, our restaurant is. This is really where you'll see the values and the action of the foundation at work, where we'll be inviting the community in to participate and learn and connect with each other and build relationships. And then at the north end is the building, and you'll see some images in a moment, but if you're familiar with the center at all, these are probably the images you're most familiar with. This is the museum building. It's the one tall building on campus. I do want to just take a moment to talk a little bit about the planning strategy. We very much wanted to be sort of a good neighbor and also a member of this historic park. We've tried with the plaza, the forum, and the library buildings to push those buildings sort of into the park as deeply as possible so that they're more integrated with the park. The museum building, though, comes up out of the park. It's the very tall building, and we thought to create sort of a new landmark for the south side and to really plant our flag, so to speak, about what's happening in this place, in this moment, to really not just celebrate, but to make sure that people never forget how incredible a moment it was to have the first Black president of this country, and to respect and sort of honor that moment. And so we thought a tall building, while you don't normally see tall buildings in the parks, we thought it was appropriate in this particular case. We also are going to have an underground parking garage to serve the center and the park just to the south. That's 2 levels, fully underground. And then off screen here, we plan in the future to have another building called the Program Athletic and Activity Center, which will be more of a gymnasium type building as we expand our programming into not just sort of things you look at and learn with your mind, but really build on Mrs. Obama specifically's legacy of wellness and active education. A couple of the things shown here in the slide is these buildings are all nestled sure within a larger park, but even the campus of the center itself is almost 20 acres. We've tried to create a series of outdoor public amenities that complement what's already in Jackson Park and also complement the offerings of the center. A couple of things you see highlighted here. We're planning on a huge new, really exciting playground in the park to the south end of the campus. And then on the rooftop of the library building, and even spreading beyond the rooftop of the building into the park, we have a large sort of fruit and vegetable garden that's sort of in honor of Mrs. Obama's kitchen garden at the White House, but this is bigger, expanded, where we're going to run a lot of programs for community and school age people about trying to understand a little bit more about, again, wellness, nutrition, where food comes from, etc. Little bit of our project, and again, Pam, I don't want to take your thunder, but we are going to try to start at the end of the summer. You see here in mid-August, starting some preparatory and site possession work, but with physical construction probably taking place just in the first weeks of September. We anticipate the construction of the project to take about 45 months. From the time it is substantially complete from a construction point of view, we will still be installing and readying all of the exhibits and all the other interior pieces, which will extend another 5 months beyond our construction completion date. So we are targeting a fall here, October of 2025 opening. It sounds like a long, long ways away, but there's a lot of work to do. And there's a lot of work that's actually been accomplished just to get us to this point. But we're on the precipice of a very, very exciting moment for the foundation, of course, but we hope for the city as well. Just a few views of the campus. You saw this picture sort of on the intro slide. This is just looking back at the campus from the south. You see the museum building I spoke about rising up out of the park. Maybe we'll keep moving here, Denisha. This is an image. Again, these are all renderings of how we'd like it to look. There's a lot of work to be done between now and actually doing this, but this is a picture of the plaza I talked about a little bit. This is sort of the center or the hub of the campus with the buildings. You see the museum building sort of looming beyond, and that's the forum building to the right side of the image. Another view back at the museum building. Here you are on the rooftop of the library building in that fruit and vegetable garden I described. Inside the buildings themselves, we want them to be welcoming, engaging, interactive spaces. This is just a rendering sort of entering into the museum building specifically, as you're about to start your journey up. It is a tall building. The museum experience is a vertical one. You rise up from the base of the building, learning more and more and getting more engaged in the story as you go up, and then culminating sort of at the top at an image. I think that might come next. Nope, wrong. This is also a picture in the museum building. I think what we wanted to try to show here is we really tried to be as innocuous in the park as possible. We have a lot of things we want to do, a lot of things we want to say in the museum. So we needed a lot of space, but we created almost 40% of the space underground so that we wouldn't take such a heavy footprint in the park. One of the ways we still want to make those spaces welcoming and engaging is we have a series of courtyards throughout the project that bring light downstairs. So you are looking at a below grade space, for example, but we're hoping by the introduction of these courtyards that those spaces won't feel like basements. They'll feel very active and alive. Just some in progress imaging about the museum itself. The museum galleries are going to stretch over 4 floors of the building. This is just a straight on shot from the plaza of the Forum building, like I said before, where a lot of the classrooms and active programming will take place. An interior view of the Forum. This is a public building. The only ticketed experience in the entire campus is within the museum. All the other spaces, outdoors and indoors, are free and open to the public. That includes the entirety of the Forum building here. This is just an image of sort of the central space or commons area opening up on the right side into our auditorium. And then a view of the interior of the auditorium, for example, that we hope to program, not just with stuff the foundation wants to say and present, but we offer it up to community partners too, to have their meetings and presentations and let them sort of tap into the Obama Foundation audience so they can lift up their messages and their programs and reach a wider group of people. The restaurant also in the Forum building. This is an image of what the Chicago Public Library branch might look like in that south building on the campus. A little cartoon rendering of the fruit and vegetable garden. Again, just by its footprint, it's a very large space. We hope to really expand. There's a lot of people doing great urban gardening programs all across the city. We're going to partner with several of them. But I think the unique advantage we have is, first of all, we're bringing a lot of people to the center anyway, but also just the footprint that we're able to dedicate to this opportunity. Out in the park, I talked a little bit about some of the amenities like the fruit and vegetable garden and the playground. We have a whole bunch of stuff we want to do in the park, again, to complement what's already in Jackson Park and makes it special. Here's a section of something we're tentatively calling the Great Lawn, which is a huge gathering space that we hope to open up to big community events like a movie night, for example. That same sort of Great Lawn can also then in the winter become a sledding hill. And I wanted to stress that, both in our construction and our ultimate, permanent operations, we've really tried to be not just a good neighbor to the South Side and to Jackson Park, but, to the world at large. We take matters of sustainable building and operations very, very seriously. It's at the core of all of our planning. Our sort of definition of welcome includes meeting people where they are, no matter who they are. And so we've also, in addition to our focus on sustainability, we're trying to design the experience inclusively. And that's not just about trying to meet people who have mobility challenges, but challenges all across the board. And we, both in the museum designs and the physical design of the center, this whole idea of inclusive design has really been a driving force in all of our planning. I'm going to actually send it back. You've probably heard enough from me. I'm going to send it back to Denisha, if that's okay. And again, just want to thank everyone for participating and all the support.
Yeah, so I'm here to talk a little bit about workforce development and diversity. We have, of course, the 50% goal on the project for City of Chicago residents, but we also decided to drill down a little more, especially because, as Work mentioned, we wanted to be a good neighbor, and we also wanted to use this project to be meaningful and impactful to the south and west sides of the city. So 35% of total on-site construction work hours, we're hoping that they'll be performed by residents of the south and west sides of the city, which you'll see are the light green areas. And then 10% we're dedicating to what we're calling the local impact area, which are the neighborhoods right around where the center will be located. To help reach that goal, the foundation has reached out to and partnered with Hire 360, Chicago Women in Trades, Revolution Workshop, and St. Paul to create the We Can Build It partnership. We Can Build It is dedicated to preparing, connecting, and retaining the community in the construction trades. And they're doing this by offering their programming to offer career education in the target communities. And they're doing that by assessing and enrolling all qualified community members into pre-apprenticeship programs. And then for those who don't necessarily check the box as qualified at the time, the foundation is working with other partners throughout the city to help get them to that point. We Can Build It also is working directly with Lakeside and the contractors to help identify job opportunities. And then also and job opportunities, not just for pre-apprenticeship, people coming out of their pre-apprenticeship programs, but also current union card holders who might be on the bench. And then finally, We Can Build It will also have services dedicated to the retention of everyone who goes through their program. We want to make sure people have a long-term career in the construction trades. We're also just dedicated to changing what the face of the construction trades look like. So this slide is on Lakeside Alliance, but I think it's an appropriate time to turn it over to Pam Brown.
We'll leave this slide up then, so that I can talk a little bit to it. First and foremost, I am Pamela Fountain Brown, a member of the Lakeside Alliance team. As Rourke mentioned, we are a joint venture between 5 companies that are local here to Chicago. Our team is comprised of Powers and Sons, Ujama Construction, Brown and Moment, and Safeway, and they all partnered with Turner some years ago now to really look at how business is done in the city of Chicago and really kind of breaking apart the paradigm as how construction is typically done in a historic way. To that end, our team has been extremely intentional about how we have approached this project. And I need to pay homage a little bit to my project leadership team. I'm just going to share my screen for 2 seconds. Give me 1 second. Let me know if you can see it. So I guess you got to stop sharing your screen. See, this is what happens when I fly solo, right? Here we go. Here, this is where I'm trying to go. Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great, beautiful, 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 beautiful.
You got it.
So just to introduce our leadership team, the company leadership team, you'll see here Ernest Brown, Rick Blair, Maymon Powers, Jimmy Akatande, and John Bonds Jr. That is our executive leadership team for the Lakeside Alliance. Rourke and Denisha both talked about the goal or the mission of the Obama Foundation. As a Lakeside Alliance, we are committed, and our promise to the Obama Foundation is to augment the foundation team to ensure that the Obama Presidential Center fulfills the vision to inspire and empower people to change the world. This is actually literally one of my favorite graphics that we use all the time. This is one of our crude mock-ups that we did to show how you'll see the different areas of construction. So you see pre-construction, construction, and then community, and all those threads kind of weave together to show that at the end of the project, it belongs to the community and the community at large. So pretty excited about that. So I gave you a snapshot of our executive leadership team. We call these our work group leaders because we're the actual folks doing the work. I shouldn't have said that, but none of my team bosses are on the call, so I can say whatever I want to right now. We are led by Jen Sabrima, our project exec, Then you have myself and then Kelly Powers-Berea. We both chair the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion program for the project. Lindsay Gregorio, who's over our engineering operations. Gary Hill, who is our procurement manager, who will be leading our procurement efforts. Brentel Johnson in estimating, and Ron Lewis in field operations staff. So I wanted just to share a couple of really key points about the project and where we are right now. So it really talks about outreach, the diverse enterprise, workforce goals, and transformational ideas. I'll get to that. I'll hover over that in a little bit. But for the project, we have a 50% utilization goal. And I was really excited to hear from Rocket Crane because they are service disabled veteran business enterprise. And that is one of the categories that we recognize here on the project. So super excited about that. Again, working with the foundation to really recognize the certification nationally and local. So utilizing 35% M, 10% W, 5% the business enterprise with people with disabilities, veteran-owned businesses, and then service disabled businesses, and then local businesses as well. And then the workforce goes, as Danisha mentioned, City of Chicago residents 50%, South and West Side residents 35%, and then local residents 10%. When you submit a bid or when you sign up through Building Connected, you'll get all of our bid documents with the map of the city, the names of the communities that we're recognizing as it relates to South and West, and then local as well. This presentation today is really just to give you a snapshot of where we are. And then our website is at the end of the slide. So where we are right now, between June 2nd and July of August of 2021, this is where we are. What's going out to bid in June, when the RFIs are due, and all that other good stuff. But I wanted to call your attention to these next couple of slides. When I talked about us being intentional and strategic about how we're approaching this particular project, it was extremely important to us to make certain that we crafted our bid packages to make certain that they were accessible to anyone wanting to touch the project. So if you were to visit our website right now, you will see that we actually have packages as small as $5,000. So I'm gonna hover right there just for a little bit, because that speaks to the intentionality and our desire to really provide the largest umbrella possible for businesses who want to touch this project in a very meaningful way. So to that end, we've now posted on our website a range, if you will, for the volume of the packages that we will be procuring for the rest of the year, to give businesses an idea or some sort of level of comfort, if you will, to figure out whether or not you want to pursue this as a first tier subcontractor. And Jackie, I can make the presentation available to you, and it's also available on our website as well. Again, just another round of bid packages that will be going out shortly in a couple of weeks here. The other piece to our team's approach to actually doing this work is that most folks will talk about, or you've seen historically, where there's these gotcha moments. That is not our intention as the Lakeside Alliance, and working with the Obama Foundation. We really have put together a level of resources to tap to really help folks put together their response to our team. Because it's so important, because this is something that you probably have never seen before. When we receive your bids, this is how your bids are weighted. For commercial, it's weighted at 25%. For diversity and inclusion, you get 40% there, right? So that is the heaviest lift here. So when you submit a bid to the Lakeside Alliance, know that we are truly looking at your diversity and inclusion plan. Danisha mentioned that the foundation has reached out to the We Can Build It consortium. We encourage any contractor who's interested in doing work on the Obama Presidential Center to, number one, attend any pre-bid meetings that we have, any outreach meetings that we have, and to actually reach out to this consortium. I am flying solo today because our team is in scope reviews, and we do have a couple of firms who could have used the help of the We Can Build a Consortium, but we also know that they didn't attend the outreach meeting. So that is really, really, really important. So as we're talking to HACIA today, if you are a firm who's really, really interested in reaching out and doing work with the Lakeside Alliance and really serving as a first tier, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to the We Can Build a Consortium and really reach out to HACIA to help you put together your most comprehensive diversity and inclusion plan, because we really are looking to work with trade partners who get it, who want to be transformative right along with us, who want to be able to provide meaningful opportunities to folks living in and around the city of Chicago. So I really wanted to really stress that largely. And then operational, your project approach, your company qualifications, and the qualifications of key individuals working on the project. Again, this is about the Lakeside Alliance working with our trade partners who really want to work together to make certain that we are really putting forth or really helping to further the mission of the Obama Foundation and really getting folks connected in very meaningful ways. And that's it, right? As Rourke and Denise were talking, I was deleting slides. I was like, no, I don't need to say that, don't need to say that. So any questions that I can speak to?
Okay, I do see a question. Are there any opportunities for professional services still available? If so, what are they?
Now that will take a one-on-one conversation, because what we are finding is that some subcontractors or interested subcontractors have professional opportunities available there. So we definitely would encourage you to reach out to us. You can actually email me.
Yeah, if you want to drop in your email.
Yeah,
I'd also like to ask it directly to the Obama Foundation if there is professional services on the other parts of the project where there could be opportunities for professional services.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have them publicly posted right now, but I will drop into the chat a form that we created where we're taking in information for all interested vendors, and we're planning to reach out to them via email once we have a set schedule for when we're planning to reach out and procure different professional services.
Awesome.
Jackie, if I may also add, the benefit of actually coming to speak with the Lakeside Alliance is that you're actually talking to 5 companies. And so while there may not be a lot of opportunities for one particular project, please keep in mind that you still have 5 firms that are working in and around the Chicago area, and we're consistently and constantly looking for organizations and trade partners to offer opportunities. So just to keep that in mind.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Another question that came through is, will there be any MWBE set-asides? I'm looking at you, Pam, maybe. Is it you?
Listen,
or would it be the
so
foundation?
it would be the Obama Foundation there. So I do think, so I'll put it this way. As the construction manager, we have maximized as much authority and autonomy as possible, right? By breaking down a project into more than 110 bid packages, right? And really crafting the language in such a way that would speak to, we know that there are opportunities for diverse businesses to participate in these particular packages at a much higher level than has been historically offered. So I wouldn't necessarily call for us. I don't think it's up to us to really say that they are set aside programs. I think it really is about looking at the language in which the documents are going out to the street. So that would likely be a question for the Obama Foundation too.
Yeah, I think to that point, because I do want to recognize, Lakeside's approach to doing the smaller bid packages, but I think that doesn't guarantee necessarily that it's going to go to a diverse firm. And so I think we would want to see, it be a set aside, or at least it would be something that's carved out for diverse businesses to truly get the opportunity to bid on it without risking competition from a larger firm. I mean, it's a small amount, but it's still something that is just solely for them, right? So I don't know if Denise or Rourke you can speak to that.
I'll say from the foundation standpoint that I think in partnership with Lakeside, we feel like we've built a really strong our messaging around D&I is very strong. And I think a lot of the things we've done on the project are to help small, diverse businesses. So while we don't necessarily have those breakouts or those set-asides, I think the foundation's intent is to attract those small, diverse businesses in particular. We've done things like having the CSIP on the project. We've done things like instituting fast pay, all things that we heard from the small, diverse business community could be potential barriers to them participating. So I think while there isn't necessarily a carve out for MWBEs, I think we've been very intentional and trying to make sure that they have excuse me, as much opportunity on this project as any other firm.
Yeah, thank you. You hit on another question that came through, if there's bonding requirement. I know the answer, but I think I'll let you all answer that question. Will subs need to cover bonding or insurance for especially in those smaller packages?
No. So definitely not. We are intending to actually offer sub guard here. So a sub would not necessarily have to provide their own bonding here. But again, this is a conversation that if there are firms who are interested in learning more in great detail, definitely sign up for a one-on-one so that we can wade through all the different nuances that relate and pertain to the project.
And thank you. The questions still keep coming in. So do you have a list of subcontractors who pulled plans so that third-tier subs or material suppliers can contact them?
As we start to award those first-tier subs, we'll publish the names of those first-tier subs. Once we have gone through all of the approval processes with the Obama Foundation, we'll make that available on our website. But you should also know in preparation for those types of things, we share with those bidders, companies who've reached out to us, like if Rocket Crane sent us a capability statement or something like that or whatever, we do share with potential bidders the list of, crane service operators or the list of truckers or the list of different businesses or services that would fall to that second and third tier so that folks will have visibility or line of sight there.
It's posted on your website, or you will?
We will.
Okay.
We're in the process. They seem like they're moving fast, but they're really moving, a little bit slow right now as far as some of these things go, but we try our best to make certain if a company reaches out to us to add them to our list so that we can send them to folks who are bidding like the geothermal wells, right? And then the goods and services that they would need, would send to those bidders a list of those companies looking to participate.
Thank you. What MWE certification, or I guess what certifications do you recognize?
City of Chicago,
yeah.
NMSDC, WeBank, the BEP program. There are a list of them, about 8 agencies or whatever. That's one of the slides that is in the slide deck. In the bid documents, you will see which ones we are able to recognize.
Great. And then I think last question is, will the foundation be providing ongoing monitoring compliance reporting? Will it be public? How often? All the juicy details there.
Yeah, I believe the foundation is planning to be as transparent as possible. I do not know the exact, how often exactly, but I'm pretty sure it'll be no more than quarterly. But don't quote me on that.
Gotcha. We can follow up. We'll ask again soon once you guys get started. But that's all the questions that have come through. I want to thank you both so much. It's nice to see you from this side of the table. It's great that we can still connect and work together. So thank you again to the Obama Foundation and Lakeside Alliance. So next up, we have Karen Howell from Clayco, representing the ACOM, Hunt, Clayco, and BOA group. Karen, you're on. Unmute yourself if you're muted, and feel free to introduce any of your other speakers that you have on as well. Oh.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi. Oh, I saw your
Hi.
name, Karen, but I'm like,
Yes, I'm Upasna Vishwanathan, and I'm part of the ACOM Hunt Clayco BOA team out here at O'Hare 21. And what I'm really excited to present to you all today is information about the Terminal 5 parking garage project that we have coming up this year. We're hoping to get started on the project late fall, third quarter this year. That's the plan. And I will walk you through details of the project. I'm going to share my screen now. Hoping you can see the screen that I have up. I'm going to walk you through details of the project. Like I said, we are a joint venture of AECOM, Hunt, Clayco, and BOA, and I'm presenting to you details about the parking garage project that we have coming up. For those of you who don't know where the project is located, this is going to be by Terminal 5, which is the international terminal at O'Hare. And this project is going to be located in the now currently existing surface parking lot. That's where we're building a 6-floor cast-in-place post-tension structure supported by helical ramps for circulation, as you can tell on the image that is up on the side, the rendering. It's going to have an enhanced facade. The details of the enhanced facade are not known yet, but we're looking into a couple of different details right now. And it's also going to have a circulation core that's going to serve the different levels of the garage. And as part of the project, we also have some curbside expansion and roadway improvement scopes. To talk to the different scopes of work that we have, just like when they spoke about the Obama Center, there's going to be a wide range of different types of scope as presented on the screen right now. Some really large and some smaller packages that we plan to put out on the street. Some of the larger ones, I would say, I mean, you're going to have a good size earthwork package. There's going to be a deep foundations package, the enhanced cladding. And in addition, we also have slightly smaller packages that are going to be suited to get good diversity and inclusion participation. And some of these include demolition, a roofing package. There's going to be wayfinding. And as you can tell on the screen, a lot of different scopes that are going to be involved with the construction of this project. Something exciting that I do want to talk to you all today about and draw your attention to is we are actually going out to bid next week with some of these early release scopes. It's going to include demolition, earthwork, deep foundations, elevator and escalators. So the bid release date is next Tuesday, May 25th. We are going to follow up a week later with a pre-bid conference and also do a site walkthrough. And a month later from them, July 1st is going to be the bid opening. So if anyone's interested in knowing more about it, please feel free to reach out to us. The website is listed on the screen. It's www.ahcjv.com. And in addition, I will also leave my email in the chat box for anyone who's interested to know more about these scopes. So I do also want to draw your attention to the pre-bid conference and site walkthrough, because that's essentially what we'd like to do is facilitate some relationships for smaller entities to team up with larger primes to get involved in some of these scopes. So make sure that you reach out and find out more. And that's a great way for you to know who are the primes that are potentially planning to bid on these packages. Talking about our workforce requirements, so the project goal is 26% MBE and 6% WBE, but each trade package will have specific goals that will be outlined. So it's not a standard 26 and 6 across the board. It's going to be better suited to the exact nature and scope of work. And that's going to be listed on each trade package. As far as what certifications are accepted, it has to be the City of Chicago or Cook County certification. So that's what is being recognized. And in addition to our MBE, WBE goals, we also have 50% City of Chicago residency requirement, and a 7.5% project area requirement. So as far as some of the neighborhoods that are recognized, it's listed on the screen. So Norwood Park, Edison Park, Jefferson Park, Dunning, Forest Glen, and Portage Park. So these are the zip codes are listed as well. This will be recognized as part of the area requirements. Moving on, as far as our approach to inclusion, some of the things that we are adapting at the project here is unbundling of trade packages, general outreach events. I mean, such as this. I mean, we're doing a bunch of outreach events to get our name out there to know, so people know and know to anticipate these big packages coming out in the street. We are also planning to do a bunch of Meet the Prime events. So one way that we plan to do this is, like I mentioned earlier, as part of our pre-bid walkthroughs, we'd be happy to facilitate relationships. So be sure to sign up anytime you're interested in a bid package. Make sure you express interest on our website so you can stay in tune and in touch. We also are happy to facilitate introductory meetings with assist agencies, help you with the pre-qualification process. I'll be speaking to that a little bit more, but there is a pre-qualification process that you need to go through. And the city also is offering an accelerated pay program. So if you want to know more about this, I would say feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to give you specific information. I will be leaving my email in the chat box after this. So a couple of different ways that you can be made. A couple of different ways that you can be made aware of the trade packages that are coming out. There's going to be an email blast that we send out, a notice of bid opportunity that will keep you posted on trade packages that we're going to hit the streets with soon. So we did send one out for these early release packages that I just spoke about, for like the demolition and earthwork and deep foundations. We reached out, sent out an email blast that gives you an opportunity with a link to get involved with our work. Another way that you can get involved is also on our website. There is a tab that tells you or provides you with information that says work with us. So once you get on it, it'll take you through a bunch of different steps that'll help you actually start the pre-qualification process itself. And an important step on here is to definitely indicate if you have an interest in a project-specific trade package, please let us know. So anytime we send out updates or information, you will receive it. And then like I said, we're happy to assist you through the pre-qualification process as well as the bid registration process, where you can tell us scopes that you're interested in bidding, so you do not miss out on any updates that we send out regarding that. And pre-qualification is going to be done through Trade Tab. So those of you who haven't worked with that before, again, we're more than happy to help you through the process and provide you with information. That's actually the end of my presentation, but I do want to tell you that as far as timeline is concerned, in the next couple of months, we will be doing a wave of bid package releases. We're getting started next week, and we'll keep coming at it.
Thank you so much. And I just saw, I don't know if, I saw someone else join, unless it's two Karens on the call, and I know you probably logged in under the other link, but I just didn't know if Karen also wanted to share something else to the call, so feel free to unmute, Karen, if you're on. I have just a general question, and I see that there are a lot of pre-qualifications that folks have to do. Is there, amongst maybe the contractors and the GC world, a one-stop pre-qual place where folks don't have to keep pre-qualifying or submitting information?
Listen, listen.
I'm just hearing, Pam
Jackie
talking about
Gomez,
a pre-qual, and you're talking about a pre-qual. It's a lot of owners, it's
absolutely. Listen, I have been, again, this is Pamela Brown. Maybe I should take down my background that says Lakeside Alliance, but nevertheless, So for years, I have actually been working with Turner internally to try to put together a kind of universal pre-qual because we know that the process is onerous. My seat at Turner is a little bit different maybe than some of the other companies in that I got a foot in the procurement world. So I see when the pre-quals come in, I got a foot in the community and outreach engagement world. And so the rising of a universal pre-qual, right, helps everyone. And so we're in talks to try to figure out which other companies, right, would work with us to really say, like, you would acknowledge that, you know, Pam's Plumbing submitted a pre-qual, and then it wouldn't necessarily take away the different nuances that each of the GCs or CMs actually require, but it would take away a lot of that kind of upfront, really onerous work or whatever. So that's my personal goal for the next few months, to try to figure out how to get this moving and get this going. I'm a fan of trying to figure out how to work with the different assist agencies across the city to try to make this work so that it is a process. I think a lot of good stuff is happening, but we are operating in so many different silos that we are oftentimes hurting the businesses that we're trying to help.
Right. And
that's my
no, and
commercial.
I agree with you. I think, and then maybe, oh, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I pronounce your name right.
It's Upasna.
Upasna, thank you. Upasna.
Yeah,
I think, I mean, it's just talking about, like, there's lots of projects coming down the pipeline, lots of money, and then to just get bogged down by filling out another form or another thing, or it's just, that would be, it almost reminds me of the MWB certification. You're streamlining it. There's reciprocals between the city and the county, and soon, hopefully, at the state level. So why not hopefully make that happen on the GC world? Let us know if you all want to do some sort of roundtable. If you want to do a brainstorming session, we'll make that happen and would love to have a conversation to do that. So we're here to help. But do we have any questions though for Upasna about the T5 parking project? There is a question about the bonding and insurance. Would that be required by the subs?
Does Princeton have a tax
Yeah,
plan?
so right now there is a payment performance bond that's required, but we are trying to figure out if we can help with that process. It's not
Right,
completely set in stone yet.
but did
So
you get
again,
Princeton set up to
reach
have a
out and
tax
we'll do
plan
what
or
we
no?
can to help you with that process if
We're
that's
supposed to
a
have our
concern.
QA and
Absolutely,
plan
would
things
love to
after
help any way we
fall.
can.
Great. Okay. Well, if I don't see any other questions coming in. So anybody else on the call or line, if you do have any questions, feel free to even submit them afterwards. We're happy to submit them to our presenters on your behalf. But I want to thank you again for joining us today and all of our speakers to learn more about potential contracting opportunities. So with that, I hope to see you all at our next in-person June 17th event at the East Bank Club. Thank you all. Have a great day. Talk soon.
Thanks again.
Thank you.